Hello, welcome to this NC Works workshop on interviewing for high school students. My name is Leslie Ferris, and I'm going to teach you today how to ace your next job interview or your first job interview. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about NC Works. NC Works is here to help you with all of your employment needs. So we have training scholarship opportunities for you if you qualify, work-based learning opportunities, which means we can help you get an internship with a company and get some work experience. We can help you with career coaching, job search assistance, resume preparation, interview preparation, like we're doing today. And we can also help you one-on-one, virtually or in person, and job application assistance. We have 3 career centers in our region, but we do have career advisors in all 4 of our counties. So we have career advisors based in Alexander County, Burke County, Caldwell, and Catawba. So there are the addresses and phone numbers, and we can work with you in our offices right now or virtually. Okay, to get started today, we're going to watch a little video on virtual interviewing.
10, 9, 8.
Okay, that was ways to ace your virtual interview. Virtual interviews are pretty much the same thing as in-person interviews, but there are a few things you have to do in addition for a virtual interview. First of all, of course, with both in-person and virtual, you have to practice the most common interview questions. That is one of the best things you can do. Know what you're going to say, practice. But in a virtual interview, you need to make sure your surroundings are neat and clean. Or you can use a virtual background like I'm using today. I'm using a picture, an NC Works picture back here. But make sure that your surroundings behind you in the screen are neat and clean. Test all your technology beforehand, including your Wi-Fi. So make sure you test your speakers, your microphone, your Wi-Fi, everything, and make sure it's working perfectly before you start your interview. Check your lighting. Make sure there is enough lighting and they can see you. Make sure you're not dark. You want to make sure they can see you well. Adjust your screen where they can see you from the top up. All right. Perform a practice recording. We definitely have that luxury right now. Everybody is using virtual platforms. So definitely practice a recording and see how you sound and practice the questions. Dress nice from head to toe. A lot of people just dress nice on the top, but there might be a reason. For some reason, you might have to get up in the middle of the interview. So you want to make sure you're dressed nice from head to toe, just as if you were going into the office for an interview. Limit your distractions. No pets running around, barking, children. Make sure everyone in your household knows that you are going to be doing an interview and you are in a room where you can shut the door and no one will come in. Okay, turn the TV off, make sure there's no noise, no distractions whatsoever. Have your resume in front of you. I know most of you should have created a resume in high school because I know all the local high schools are doing that. So make sure that you have your resume in front of you. You probably submitted your resume in order to get the job interview. So they're going to have your resume in front of them and probably be asking you questions from it. So make sure you have it in front of you. All right. Use professional body language. Even though you are doing your interview virtually, you still need to be professional. So don't slouch down in your chair. They can tell. Make sure your posture's good. Sit up straight. And you don't have to sit there and just not move your hands. You can absolutely move your hands and talk with your hands during the interview. But make sure that you are professional. No food, gum, or drinks. An interview only lasts at most 30 minutes. So you definitely don't need any food, gum, or drinks during that time. Show enthusiasm. Even though you are virtual, you still can show enthusiasm. So make sure they know that you are enthusiastic about the job and you want the job. So show that in your voice and in your demeanor during the interview. And immediately follow up with a thank you. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but that's virtually or in person. Absolutely. You need to email a thank you to them right after the interview. All right, sell yourself. That sounds horrible, but yes, you do have to sell yourself for an interview because they are going to spend money on training you and they want to make sure that they're hiring the right person. So you have got to let them know that you are the right person. So we're going to pretend today in our workshop that you are competing against 5 other people that are interviewing for a position. So the average number of interviews that a company does is around 6. Okay, 4 to 6 for one position. So we're going to pretend that you're competing against 5 other people. So you're going to have to sell yourself so that they will choose you above those other 5 people. Failing to prepare equals preparing to fail. A lot of people say, I do better if I just wing it, or I'm just going to go in there and talk. I'm just going to answer the questions. If I try to practice, I'll get nervous and I'll mess up. That is not true. Preparing for the questions will help you be more confident and help you do better and feel better after the interview. So if you do not prepare, then you are preparing to fail. Remember, you are interviewing against 5 other people. So make sure that you prepare. One way to prepare is look at the job posting and see what they're asking for. So highlight the skills that they're asking for, like I did on this one right here. Actually, I highlighted the skills they asked for once in yellow and the skills they asked for twice or more in blue. And you definitely want to show in your interview that you have the skills they're asking for. So use these key words in your interview to show that you have the qualities that they're asking for, especially the ones in blue that they are asking for at least twice. So you are competing against 5 other people. So make sure that you are showing them what they are asking for. All right, also before the job interview, make a list of your qualities that fit the job requirements, like we just said, from the job posting. Research the industry and the company. Know a little bit about the company. Prepare your answers to the most common interview questions. And we're going to go over those today, and I'm going to give you some examples. Pick out professional clothing. So you don't have to wear a 3-piece suit, but make sure you look nice. Make sure you look nice and professional. Iron your clothing, groom your appearance, and make sure you look groomed and nice for your interview. You are not dressing for the job. Let's say the job is in a manufacturing plant. You don't dress as if you were going to work that day. You dress to impress. Remember, you are interviewing against 5 other people. So you have to make a great impression and put your best foot forward. Map the address. Make sure you know how long it takes to get there. Know the best route to take so that you won't be late. Role play and practice. I cannot say that enough. Make sure you practice. Role play. Practice. Practice with somebody else as the interviewer and you the interviewee. Or if you don't want to do that, just practice right here on Zoom. And then that'll make you feel more confident. You can practice, change things, and see what works. All right, your appearance. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. You've probably heard that before, but it is very true. With a job interview, you don't get to call back and say, I shouldn't have done this that way. I wish I would have done this a different way. No, you only get one chance. So you got to make it count and put your best foot forward. So make sure your appearance looks nice and neat. All right, so interview attire for women. So women, we can wear a lot of different things and you just got to look nice. So dress pants and dress shirt, or skirt, dress shirt, or dress or a suit, as long as you look nice. All right, men, you too, same way. Dress pants and dress shirt, or dress pants, shirt and tie, or a suit, as long as you look nice and professional. There are some things that you should avoid, okay, that do not look professional. So, especially for high school students, you need to think about this. Avoid casual attire. Don't wear the same clothes that you would wear to high school. Large jewelry. Don't wear big, huge earrings or a big necklace that says love. Okay, that's distracting. Don't wear loud perfumes. The reason I say that is some people are allergic and you don't want to make your interviewer sneeze or go into an allergy attack. So watch out for your plunging necklines. Make sure your shirt's not too low. Don't wear short skirts, shorts, t-shirts, uh, loud nail polish. I mean, you can wear nail polish, but just, look professional. No flip flops. Definitely don't wear your headphones, your earbuds in. No jeans, no hats. And since we are in the time of COVID, no distracting mask. So if you're doing an in person interview right now, you're probably going to have to wear a mask. So make sure that just wear like a solid color mask. Don't wear any distracting mask or that have words across them. All right, items to take in with you. Well, take a portfolio or a folder to put your resume and anything in, your application, notepad. Uh, they'll all go in your folder so you can carry them in looking all professional. Take a pen to write with. And like we said, a notepad for your folder. Take your resume so you can hold it in front of you because they're going to be asking you questions from your resume. If you have references already ready, take those with you. If you have a copy of your application, then take it with you. I do recommend if you fill out an application online and you can print it, that's a great thing to do. That way you'll know exactly what you wrote on the application. You can take it with you. If you have any questions that you want to ask them, take those with you. And since we are in the time of COVID right now, definitely take a mask because you don't want to get there and then have to give you a mask. So remember, not distracting. Arrive in style. So when you get there, make sure you arrive a little early. You want to plan to be early, of course, not late. While you're waiting, you could review your prepared answers to your most common interview questions. Check your appearance, make sure you look nice, and introduce yourself to the receptionist in a friendly and professional manner. The receptionist can make or break you because if he or she goes back after the interview and says that you were rude or anything negative, then you might not get the job because remember, you are interviewing against 5 other people. So make sure that you are very professional, friendly, nice in everything you do. The interview. Stand and greet your interviewer with a firm handshake. However, not during COVID. So right now, you would just go in and you would just introduce yourself. If it's a virtual interview, once you come onto the meeting or they admit you into the meeting, then you would introduce yourself. And that's what you would do instead of the handshake right now is just introducing yourself. Smile and look the interviewer in the eye. You do need to look them in the eye. Of course, I tell people that doesn't mean you stare them down the whole time and look in their eyes. You can look away. You have your resume in front of you. You can look down at your resume. That gives your eyes a break. But definitely when you talk to them, you can't be looking up at the ceiling or looking at the wall behind them. You do need to look them in the eye and talk to them. Be seated whenever they direct you or when they sit down themselves. If there's only one chair there, you know that's where you're going to sit, but don't sit down until they sit down. During the interview, be human and conversational. They want somebody that they can talk to. They're going to hire who they want to talk to each day. So the best interviews are just a conversation, okay, back and forth, not an interrogation, but a conversation. Answer questions with more than yes or no. They need to get to know you. Remember, you are interviewing against 5 other people. So answer questions with more than just a yes or no so that they can know a little more about your skills and qualities. Do not ramble or talk too much though. So there's a fine line. Yes, answer more than yes or no, but don't ramble on and on. Add humor if it suits you. If you're a person who generally is a little humorous, absolutely you can do that if it's appropriate. Employers hire who they like and remember. So you definitely want to be the person that they remember. So we're going to watch a little video now on how not to get the job.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so that was how not to get the job. So if you do any of those things, then you're probably not going to get the job because you are competing against 5 other people. So make sure that you don't do any of those bad things that could cause you not to get the job. All right. So now we're going to move on to the questions, the most common interview questions. And I have geared these toward high school students. So they're just for you. Most every interview starts out, tell us about yourself. So when you come and sit down, introduce yourself, the first thing they're going to say is, tell us about yourself. So right here is where you're going to tell them about your education, your skills, and your experience, what you can do for them. Do not talk about your family or your hobbies or politics or religion or anything like that. Make sure you just tell them about your high school, okay? Some high school courses that you've taken, your skills. If you have some experience, volunteer work, another job, working for a family member, think about those qualities that you listed that fit the job and talk about those right here. But don't get into your family, hobbies, politics, religion, anything personal like that, because that's not what they need to know and they could judge you. So stick to your experience and skills. Next question. Almost always interviewers are going to ask you, what do you know about our company? So make sure that you research the company by visiting the company website. At least know the company's size, its products or services, and its reputation. All right, here is an example script of what do you know about our company. I know that you are a leading manufacturer of glass products. You've been in business for the past 20 years. Your company has a reputation for producing high quality products and being a leader. So that's just an example. So that way they know that you've researched the company and that you're interested in working there. And you didn't just put an application in, but you know something about them. What are your strengths? That's a very popular question. You're going to get asked that question for sure. So right here, you want to tell them strengths that would help you in that job. So if the job is talking to people, communicating with others, then you want to say something about building relationships or communications. If the job is highly computer skills, you want to say something about your computer skills being great. So think about the job posting and what they're asking for, and then make sure that you let them know some strengths that you have for that job. Here's an example. I'm very good at building relationships with others. I am also very good with technology. If you throw new technology at me, I can learn it very easily. And I know a lot of you high school students definitely are good with technology, so that's definitely a plus for you. All right, so if they ask you what your strengths are, They're probably going to ask you what you consider to be your weaknesses. Okay, it's kind of a trick question. I hate this question. And who wants to talk about their weaknesses in a job interview? So, minimize your weaknesses here and emphasize your strengths. So, here is an example script. This is a weakness, but it doesn't sound bad and wouldn't hurt you in an interview. You could say, I'm a yes person and tend to take on too many responsibilities at one time. Okay, that's kind of a weakness because everybody can't do everything at one time. But it's also kind of a strong thing that makes you sound really cool too, because you're a yes person and will do what they ask of you. So research this and look at the job posting and what they're asking for. And definitely don't say that one of your weaknesses is a high quality that they are asking for in the job posting. All right, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, they're not going to hire you if you don't see yourself working for their company. Because remember, you are interviewing against 5 other people. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You hope to be working here at their company and maybe working toward advancement. Okay, so that's a good example script. So, remember, they're putting money into you to train you and they want you to stay there. So, they're looking for someone to stay. So, you want to be at their company in 5 years. All right. Tell us about a time when you had a conflict and how you dealt with it. That could be a conflict with another student. That could be a conflict with a family member, a teacher, or a work conflict if you have some work experience. What they're wanting to know here is that you were able to talk it out and work it out in a good way. And there was no fight, there was no physical confrontation. You didn't have to run to a supervisor or a teacher or a principal to handle it, but you talked it out and worked it out. That's what all employers are looking for. So here's a good example script. I did have an issue with someone who wasn't doing her part of the group work in a class project. I asked her if we could talk. It turned out she didn't understand the project. I coached her through the process and the problem was resolved. That's what employers are wanting to know, that you can talk to someone else and work things out without running to a manager or a teacher. All right. Why are you interested in this position? They want to know why you want to work at their company. And remember, you're interviewing against 5 other people. So make sure right here is how you can tell them why you chose their company. So here's a good example script. When I visited your website, I found some impressive information about your products. I was also impressed with the founder's background. This is the company where I feel my skills can be put to great use. All right, you want to brag about the company. If you have seen anything negative about the company, then you definitely do not want to say that. So definitely brag on the company here and let them know that you're really interested in working there. All right. What would your teachers say about you? This could also be worded, what would your former employer say about you? They may ask you something like that if you've had another job before. So you definitely only want to say positive things here. If teachers or an employer would say negative things, you want to say things that are facts here. And if they ask them, then they can attest that they are true. So here's a good example script. My teachers would tell you that I work very hard and always turn my work in on time. They would also tell you I get along easily with everyone, including teachers and other students. So that's a very positive answer right there. And you just change that to fit you. Describe your work ethic. This is a difficult one because a lot of people are like, what's work ethic? Okay. Well, work ethic is how you work. Okay. So here is a good example script. I would say that my work ethic is that I always do my best, even when no one else is looking. I pride myself on quality work. So for your work ethic, think about what work means to you and how you work. And you can do some research on work ethic and see if you can find a quote or find something that fits you. This one fits me right here. All right. So, ending the interview. Well, I got a picture of a handshake right there because I've used that for years. But of course, during COVID, you're not going to be shaking their hands. So, at the end of the interview, let them know that you're very interested in working for the company. Kind of put a little push in there that, hey, you enjoyed the interview and you would really be interested in working there. Thank the interviewer and ask the interviewer when you can expect to hear from them. If they're planning on hiring for that position in the next day or two, you don't need to be waiting at home for a call for 2 weeks. So ask them when they expect to hire and when they can expect to hear from you. After the interview, like we talked earlier, you got to send a thank you email. Now, it says thank you letter up there. A letter would be great. Handwritten cards are wonderful, but people do decide who they want to hire very quickly after interviews now. So, really, you need to send an email because right after they finish the last interview, they're probably going to start talking about who they want to hire. So, when you get home from the interview, send them an email to thank them for their time. It will make you stand out amongst the others who did not send one. So if they're interviewing 6 people and only 2 of you send a thank you letter, then 2 of you come to the top of the stack here. Be prompt. Send it right after the interview is over. Okay, if you did all these things, then you are hired and you have a new job or hopefully a new career. Remember us at NC Works. We can help you. We have career centers in Caldwell County, Burke County, and Catawba County, and we have career advisors every day in Alexander County as well. NC Works can help you get ready for your interview. They can help you virtually like this right here and do a practice interview with you, or you can come into the center and see a career advisor and sit down with them. They can also help you to prepare your resume or revise your resume. Thank you and have a great day.